Oh, that.
Okay, I show 6 o'clock, and I'm calling this meeting of the San Benito County Planning Commission to order. If we could have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Gibson, please.
Ready, salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May we have the roll call, please?
Certainly, Chairway. We'll start out with Commissioner Rinhiden.
Present.
Chairway.
Present.
Commissioner Scaglioli.
Present.
Commissioner Gibson.
Present.
And we will note that Commissioner Thomason indicated that she would be out today.
Thank you. And I also note that we do in fact have a quorum. Moving into department announcements.
Thank you, Chairway and members of the Commission. I've been providing you with updates from the Planning Department regarding staff levels, vacancies, and opportunities for being able to fulfill those vacancies. And so just as a recap, since August, we have the departure of 2 associate planners, 1 senior planner, 1 principal planner, and 1 building inspector, which currently has left us with 1 planner with at the Planning Department, 1 building inspector, we have 1 code enforcement, and we have 2 permit technicians. At the December 2nd meeting, special meeting of the Board of Supervisors, the board actually, the administration brought in an item to, it appears that there's multiple departments throughout the county that are going through similar issues regarding staffing. And so they brought up an item to try to unfreeze some positions, and that included 1 position for the planning department for an assistant planner. I was hoping to try to see if I can get at least a senior planner position, but we'll take whatever they give us. So the board decided to unfreeze the position, and it's actually open for recruitment at the moment. And we're hoping to have that close at the beginning of the year and hopefully recruit an assistant planner by then. So, nothing to report at the moment on new applications. And we also want to indicate that the Resource Management Agency will be open during the Christmas holidays, except for Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. But otherwise, we will be open for service. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have an opportunity for public comment. This is your chance to express your opinions and views on items that are within the purview of the Planning Commission but are not on tonight's agenda. So if there's any public comment, either in chambers or via Zoom, this would be a great opportunity to do so.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. San Benito County Planning Commission welcomes your comments. Each individual speaker will be limited to a presentation of 3 minutes. When addressing the Commission via Zoom, phone, or in chambers, please state your name and county in which you reside for the record. Please address the Commission as a whole through the chair. And we do not have anybody from the chambers or from Zoom.
Okay, thank you. The consent agenda tonight consists solely of approving or acknowledging the certificate of posting for this meeting. The minutes of the previous meeting are not ready yet. So may we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Second, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No, okay. So motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Moving on into, public hearing, item 7.1. This is PLN 250069, use permit 2680 Buena Vista Road, increasing the height of an existing wireless communication tower. So if we can have that presentation, thank you.
Yes, it is on. Very good. Good evening, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. I'm Michael Kelly, Senior Planner, and I am presenting the 2680 Buena Vista Road wireless facility, actually a tower that's already there, but it's being extended upward by some height. This site is, like I said, 2680 Buena Vista Road, near 156 Buena Vista Road intersection, also Wright Road intersection, 5-acre property on with an existing lease area. And here's a closer look. You find 156 and Buena Vista Road and Wright Road there, and here is the property where it's, and there's the tower site. Here's a tower site looking up more closely. The project is to result, if it's approved, it's to result in 97-foot tall tower where there is currently a 66-foot tall tower, a false tree. You might have seen 65 feet in there. It's just the highest fake foliage is 66 feet above the ground level. 97 feet tall at the highest point. It's still going to be, if approved, still going to be a pine tree appearance. It would have 6 antennas, remote radio units, microwave dish, ground equipment within the existing lease area for fiber and power distribution needs, and no change to the lease area. This was approved originally, this tower as it stands now, was approved originally in 2008, needed periodic renewal according to the conditions of approval, and so it got it eventually in 2021 to basically stay in its current form, 66 feet as it is. Here, once again, is the site, and this is the parcel like you see here, and the tower site in the corner of this zigzag here, 2680 Buena Vista Road once again. The design, as you see here, 66-foot tower as currently designed, and here you have the additional feet, the additional 31 feet that would have antennas at the top. These are simulated views of the tower as proposed, 66 feet on the left and 97 feet on the right, as viewed from the east. And now it's viewed from the northwest, similar view, simulated, showing the additional height. And you can see the fenced-in lease area down at the bottom, too. Further simulations looking from farther off, this above is the existing and below is the proposed, as viewed from directly to the north from Wright Road, looking southward from Wright Road. And from the driveway to the neighbor, the agricultural commercial property, looking across their property to their neighbor, 2680, and up above existing, below is simulated. And this is in front of 2680 Buena Vista Road. Once again, up above it is existing and below it is simulated. This, just in case this might help, we put this in the staff report. This is not the site. This is a different site. It's not quite the same height, but it's at 51 Old Ranch Road. If you want an example of a taller sort of tower, I don't know, if in case it helps, it's their 85-foot tower, just for reference on how such a thing might look. Now, this is how the coverage, well, getting into how the coverage would change for the carrier, which is T-Mobile. The carrier, this is just specific to this one carrier. This is how the area looks in terms of coverage without the carrier's antennas. If they were to add an antenna at the existing height of the tower, the coverage would look like that. Now, and that's without adding the extended height on the tower. If they add the extended height and then put the antenna at the top of that, the coverage looks like that. So we go from this to that. So without, and then without extension, but with the antenna, and with the extension and the antenna, just once again. So going from that to that to that. And so that would possibly have benefits to 156 drivers, or in terms of additional coverage, I'll say, for 156 drivers. Some additional signal and old San Juan Hollister Road, the industrial area on San Juan Road west of the bridge, and also western neighborhoods in Hollister, plus also eastern San Juan Valley. Now we compare this to our general plan and the policies that are in the general plan. There are several policies about this, generally favorable toward expanding telecommunications, with, of course, it has to be done with care, of course. But the general plan land use element allows this sort of use in the agricultural district, which this is. This is the agricultural district under the general plan, and also the agricultural productive zoning district, I'll add. Agriculture district, A district, allows agricultural support uses, including public utility and safety facilities such as this. The economic development element has this kind of thing as a form of economic development, expanded telecommunications for attracting new businesses and investment and quality of life improvement. So this would seem to encourage this kind of expansion. Public facilities and services element has several policies. 9.1, PFS 9.1, supporting expansion to facilitate best available technology and the use of it. PFS 9.2, encouraging marketplace competition to ensure access, in particular, reduced cost. And this would be additional supply, so you could perhaps infer that this could be more competition and have a cost effect possibly. PFS 9.3, supporting reliability of the service, of the telecommunications service, which it would seem that additional facility would have a benefit to that. PFS 9.4 and 9.5 address where these facilities should go and how they should be placed in terms of what's an appropriate place and for just the purpose, the function, and also for the visibility, and what kind of design is going to be used for this. And it favors lower visibility sites and lower visibility designs. In this tower in particular, it's existing. The purpose is for this to the service to overcome the low elevation of the land and clutter on the ground, be it buildings or other objects. Reach into structures better with signal. It's a tree style, so it has less a severe look than just a raw tower. It's away from parks and schools, away from residential areas, and it's close to a utilitarian kind of architecture in the neighbor with the agricultural commercial development. And there are features in the roadscape that make the view of this be not quite as standing out. Like if you drive up or down 156, you'll see there's hill or berm that gets that blocks the view of this, as examples of some of the environment that's already there that makes it a bit more difficult to see this tree tower. PFS 9.6 favors co-location, and this is an existing structure. It's not quite the same as typical co-location because it's adding more height to the tower, but it is an existing site, an existing tower, so it's making use of that footprint. And PFS 910, expand broadband to rural areas, and this is more capacity for the rural area. Also, zoning treats this as a conditional use in that zone, AP zone. Wireless communications facility standards have various sections about this, about keeping a distance away from residential areas, which this does, preferring existing structures, which this uses, minimizing visual impacts, and this is, as of course you see, is a false tree design that mostly conceals the equipment that's mounted on the structure, and designing only to the minimum functional height, which is not clearly specified in the ordinance. It's more or less by discretion. But in this case, as the applicant has said, this adds height for the matter of the low elevation and the topography and the tree cover, and again, reaching into structures in the area better than what is available right now. As for compliance with California Environmental Quality Act, this is eligible for the Class 3 exemption on new construction or conversion of small structures, which in the text of the state CEQA guidelines includes utility extensions, and these court cases that you see here establish that this is such a utility extension. So this is eligible for this and not having to go through the CEQA process in length. So staff recommends that the Planning Commission review the staff report and review the draft resolution, which has the findings on CEQA and conditional use permits. And staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt the resolution, making the findings therein and approving the use permit under file PLN 250069. And I can answer questions if you have any questions. I'm not sure if the applicant is on, but if so, the applicant can perhaps answer questions too.
Okay, thank you. Are there questions from the commission for Mr. Kelly? Yeah, go ahead.
Michael, I'm looking at the photos, and that tree looks like it's very sparse. Are they going to fill it in a little bit and make it look more like a tree than a sore stump sticking out there, or are they just going to leave it like it is and add on to the top of it? What are their plans to, like, maybe beautify it a little bit instead of looking like a Snoopy tree?
It's a comment that, well, now first, is the applicant on?
Brian Briggs and Kevin Horn.
Kevin.
His hand is raised.
Okay.
I
If
guess
Kevin
to-
is willing to
Yeah.
speak on this, then we'll let you speak.
Hello, Kevin. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Perfect. I guess, yeah, I'm representing T-Mobile for the street. I can't typically speak to that. That sounds like a really reasonable request. I can definitely speak with my my colleague about that to get that your concerns addressed. And we can take that back because again, that's something they should be able to do. Just because your concern was you want to fill it in a little more to make the tree have like a fuller look, right? Was that it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking that note down and I will bring that back to them. I will be able to get back with Mr. Kelly once I consult with T-Mobile about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I just had a couple of quick questions. You're raising it to 97 feet. Is there a limit? What is the, like, is that it? Can it go any higher after this?
There's not a stated limit in our ordinance. It's just that minimum functional height standard. So it's to be explained by the applicant. And so we have this rationale by the applicant that shows improved coverage with the higher height, and the rationale of there being structures and objects on the ground that need to be overcome in order for a better signal. That's what the applicant has. Perhaps the applicant can have explain more rationale.
Okay, and
if needed.
so the second part of the is it, so then it is mostly about elevation. Is there room on this monopine now to add the additional radio and microwave additions without raising it?
Without elevation.
Or is it full of stuff already?
It was, I believe, expected that it was to allow co-location. This middle, that illustration that showed what height, it was at 48 feet. Let me see, I'm just looking at the image here. I think it was 48 feet. The idea was that it seemed it could possibly be placed there with effects of the effect of less coverage. I mean, some improvement in coverage, but less.
So it is more about the coverage, raising the elevation to increase the coverage, because it looks like there's room. I drive by that once in a while. It looks like there's room to add stuff already to the existing height.
It is not like some towers. I mean, generally these towers are expected to allow co-location. And so this just has the one level of antennas at the top, at the existing top. So it would seem to have room below on the tower. Does that meet the objective of what's needed for coverage? If this is all, like I said, discretionary.
If I may interject, that goes back to the heat, basically the heat map that Michael was showing us, that without a change, here's what you cover. At the same height with more equipment, this is what you cover. And then the elevated height, and there was a massive difference in the coverage. That's why they need to do it. Right?
So
those maps, that's the heat map that shows.
it is
the
more about
difference.
elevation
Yeah.
than anything else.
Yeah, there's a huge difference in coverage when you add 31 feet. That was it. Thank you.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Just rocking back and forth on the graphics here.
I have a question regarding the sheriff's usage of the tower. We generally require that the towers be accessible for sheriff's equipment. Do you know if that is already mounted on this tower? And if not, if this extension would provide that opportunity / requirement?
I'm not aware that it is already mounted on this tower. We've seen it as a condition of approval before, so it could be made a condition of approval, although perhaps the applicant could talk about whether that's somehow prohibitive or not. I don't imagine it is, but
I don't know.
Last time we discussed it with the previous, another applicant, I think it was part of actual law that agencies have use of them. But it certainly wouldn't hurt to add a condition if that's what the will of the commission was.
Okay. Other questions from the commission for the applicant or for Mr. Kelly? Then let's open it up for public comment.
Each individual speaker will be limited to a presentation total of 3 minutes. When addressing the commission via Zoom, phone, or in chambers, please state your name and county in which you reside for the record. Please address the commission as a whole through the chair. And we have no comment cards from the chambers, but we do have 2 hands raised, and we have Kevin Horn first. Kevin, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I mean, from my side, I have no further questions or issues to address right now. I have noted from your point earlier about just filling the tree in more. But if anyone else has questions that I can help, hopefully help address right now, I am free for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Brian Briggs. Brian, can you hear us?
Yes, hello. I'm Brian Briggs. I'm the new assistant county counsel for San Benito. So, hello. The commission has allowed as a condition of approval to require that law enforcement have access to the tower. And nice to meet all of you.
Thank you. Okay. Any further public comment?
There are no more further public comments.
Okay, well, bringing it back to the commission for discussion and potential action then.
I would certainly encourage the applicant to fill the tree in so it doesn't look like a Charlie Brown tree. And as far as the condition, I have no issue adding a condition that any local law enforcement or emergency service has access to that free of charge. But like I said, I believe it's also federal law.
I agree with Commissioner Gibson. Law enforcement should absolutely be on that tower.
Does that need to be part, or being that it's federal law, maybe this is for the council, being that it's federal law, does that stipulation even need to be added?
I think we should do it anyway, just to make sure it gets done.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't see any harm in
Yeah.
adding it.
We have prior language that we can use too. I don't have it handy right now, but we do have prior language possible to use.
Okay, then I move to approve with the concept that we would like, as a consensus of the planning commission, that we'd like to see that tree added so it's more full, and that we add a condition of approval that will leave the specific language up to the chair, but that would basically give local emergency services use of the tower free of charge.
Okay. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Okay. Sorry?
I asked
Okay.
if you second, I didn't hear.
Yeah, we have a motion then and a second.
And who is the second? Sorry, just for record. Okay, right.
Okay, so I don't know that we need a roll call necessarily. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Okay, hearing none, motion carries 4-0. Thank you very much. And moving on into the last item on the agenda, which I will do fairly quickly. Actually, I take it back. There's one more thing that has to happen first, a couple more things. Regular agenda, there are no items under item 8, regular agenda. Item 9, future agenda items. This is an opportunity for commissioners to surface anything that they would like to see added to a future agenda. So if there's anything like that to be discussed.
Well, if I may, the only thing I'd like to see is when staff has time that we start chipping away at those massive pages of ordinances that we sent to the board and then they rejected or continued or whatever you'd like to call it. But I'd like to start chipping away at that as much as we can in the next 6 months. Maybe every meeting we have a couple of sections or whatnot. I was hoping to actually have some on today's, but obviously that didn't happen. So going forward, I'd like to see if we could get that done.
I actually raised that as an item during the last agenda review meeting and got agreement that would be a proper way to proceed, and hopefully there will be something on the January agenda from that action.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get it done.
Okay. All right. Okay. Commissioner announcements. Obviously, I have something. It's a brief presentation, but before I launch into that, any other commissioner announcements?
No.
Okay. Let me scroll down then. And I don't know if the easiest way to do this is going to be for me to come to the podium. Since I'm not on Zoom, I probably can't control the slides. In fact, I'm sure I can't. But would it be best if I came over there?
Perhaps the slides are ready to go right
Okay.
here.
Okay. And to advance, I just press the enter key or arrows. Yep. Okay. Okay, so I just wanted to let the rest of the commissioners know what I learned at the 94th California County Planning Commissioners Association General Conference, which was held in late October in the city of Tulare. I'll keep this brief. Sorry, apparently my transitions are animated. I didn't realize that. So let's see, the focus was on various topics related to planning. The particular focus of this conference was land use, rural growth, which was particularly salient for us, community development, and environmental resilience. There were sessions, there were field trips, there were networking to foster collaboration. I don't know that I need to read every word on my slides here to you. You can read it as well as I can. Renewable energy was a kind of a big deal out there. Let's see, land use and community development. We were able to tour some integrated housing and healthcare facilities where, for example, there were two particular housing I don't know what you would call them, housing tracks, for lack of a better word, that had some innovative ideas. One of them was kind of a tiny home community, but it was specifically set up for very low-income people who had, in some cases, previously been homeless. So, obviously we have that issue here. And the other home community, which was actually immediately adjacent to that one, was something very similar to Habitat for Humanity, where people were able to give sweat equity in return for concessions on their home price. So both of those tours were very helpful. And that's all I need to say about that slide. It was a 2-day conference, and I won't belabor this, but I will say that we toured a courthouse, previously a building that was built to be a courthouse that had subsequently been replaced by a newer courthouse and now is being used as a business incubator with conference rooms, a computer lab, facilities for catering. They really did a nice job of it, and it's something that we might want to consider if we ever have access to such a repurposed building. Adventist Health came in and reopened a hospital in Tulare that had been closed for, I think they said, more than a year. And they seem to be doing quite a nice job of reopening it in stages, but it's a big benefit to the community. What else? Don't need to talk about the lunch. The Seton Pistachios facility is out there, and they are an amazingly large pistachio processor with all kinds of considerations built in for environmental issues, making sure that they're not polluting the environment and doing everything the right way, renewable energy wherever possible. Moving on into day 2. And I just went too far? No, I didn't. Okay. So I already talked about the permanent supportive housing, renewable energy innovations. We toured the Calgren plant, which is not in Tulare. It's a little bit south of there. I forgot the actual city that it's in. But in any event, they produce biofuel from basically cow manure and other things that they get from the local dairies. They have an extensive network of pipes that run from the local dairies to their processing facility, and they're quite high tech. You would be surprised at everything that goes into that whole thing. Commitment to sustainable and economic diversification, and then just more networking involved. And let's see, notable speakers. I don't think I need to say much about this slide. Conference takeaways. Similarly, you can read this for yourselves. I don't need to go through this word by word. And reflections and next steps. Let's see, focus on affordable housing, obviously regional collaboration. It was very valuable to make a lot of contacts there with other counties, including commissioners from Santa Clara County. I'm trying to think of some of the other counties that were out there. There were probably 10 counties represented, at least, maybe more. I should have had the number for you, but in any event, it was significant. There were probably 30 people all told. They weren't all commissioners, but the commissioners, planning staff, etc. And next year, the president selects the conference location. I actually ended up being elected the incoming president as of January 1st, so I get to choose the location of the next conference, and I'm really hoping that we can hold it in Hollister. So that would be a great opportunity for us to showcase our local area, our projects, our industry, our agriculture, and so forth. So if anybody has specific ideas of things that they think that would be a good field trip for the commissioners when we get them down here, that would be welcome to have between now and late October or perhaps early November. I'm not sure the exact dates yet for the conference. So that's all I had on that. questions? No? Okay, then thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation.
Okay, and now we have, I think, come to the end of our evening. One moment while I scroll this up, just to make sure that I'm dotting all the i's and crossing all the t's here. Yes, next item is adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Hang around with us anymore? I'll move to adjourn.
Is there a second? I'll second.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And no opposed. Motion carries 4-0. We are adjourned at 6:36.
Made $45 an hour.
Yeah.